Welcome back. Today we are talking about these awesome devices that help you load faster, load more efficiently, and stop thrashing your thumb as you're loading the magazines. I do want to mention Norm is out. It's after hours. He's off with his family, so he won't be doing a little clip today in this video. Look for future videos that have him. So I'll do his job for him. Guys, please like, subscribe. If you find good content in this channel or any other channel, gun channel that is, subscribe, show support for the gun community here on YouTube. So let's get into it. Today, there's going to be two parts to this video, really. The first part talking about why these things are so cool and so useful. And then the second part of the video is going to show you how to use them. This is the UpLULA. This one's a little bit more complicated because it actually moves. It's not complicated, but it's more complicated than this one that is just one piece of plastic. And so we'll get into that. But let's talk about why to use them. So for those of you that are more familiar with guns, obviously you've seen these before. You know how they work likely. And you see the value in them, hopefully. There are some elitists in the gun community that think you shouldn't use these things, you just need to load normally, and I don't know why people get that way, especially when looking at new people in the industry. If we can make anything more simple and more appealing for new people who are just getting used to it and they hate thrashing their thumb when they're trying to load a magazine that's brand new and hard to load, I'm all for making things easier, especially because a lot of those things will naturally work their way out. For example, with these, when I was new, I would use these a lot more than I do now. I've just gotten used to it. If I'm just going to the range for a couple of minutes and wanting to shoot 50 rounds, I usually won't pull one of these out. It's just not worth it. I just can load them faster without having to go grab that device, right? If you're loading a lot of ammo or you're new to it and you can't load these very quickly, this is very, very fast. But if you're just shooting a couple of mags, 50 rounds or so, and you've done it a lot, it's just, you can just load them real quick and go. However, if I'm shooting a lot, like I just said, if I'm shooting a lot more rounds, I definitely pull these things out and it's faster because eventually your thumb starts to hurt even if you're good, or at least mine does. And so these are, man, they save time. They save accidentally, even when you're good, sometimes it just doesn't go in right. And so you do end up catching one of the lips of the magazines on your finger and it hurts, or your fingernail. So these things are worth it just for those reasons and many more. But especially if you're new and you're still trying to get used to everything and learning everything, these things are going to save your life. So now let's get into how they work. So let's talk about the Glock one first, and I'm gonna come up a little closer so the camera can see it, hopefully. So there's this Glock one. It's just a simple piece of plastic. Inside right here, if you can see that, is just a little tab. And that's going to be what pushes the follower. So let's talk about the kind of the magazines. So the magazine obviously has a round count back here. Inside the magazine is a spring. And then on the top of the magazine is a follower, a magazine follower. And that follows the last round up through the magazine to the top, right? And then once that shoots, the magazine follower's at the top. And so in essence, what these things are doing is they're pushing the magazine follower, this black piece right here, downward. Now this one's weird. I don't know why it does this. The first round, you kind of have to load the first round yourself on the Glock ones, or on this Glock one anyway. And then after that, it works perfectly. But in essence, what it does is it pushes this follower down so that then you can just slide the bullet straight in, or the round straight in. And so the round faces this way, right? Because this is the back of the magazine, so you want your round to face forward. And so you have to get it below these lips right here that are going to hold all the rounds in. Let me load it for you just so you can see it. So the round is going to sit in like that, right? And once one round is in with this one, the Glock magazine loader, then you just push it down, and as you can see, it pushes that round downward. So then you push it down, and as you can see, that bullet disappears because it's getting pushed by this tab right here further down into the magazine. And then it gives you the ability to take the next round and place it in as far as it'll go. Obviously it won't go because that tab's in the way. And then you release a little bit. It's harder to do on camera than it is in real life. And then it goes right in. Now usually you'll be on a flat surface, which is why this is harder for me. You'll be on a flat surface and you can just push it straight down and then put your round in, your next round. And then you pull it up a little bit and it should slide straight in. Of course, on camera it's much harder. Right? And then you just continue this process till the magazine's loaded. And that's it. It's really simple. The whole purpose is this tab hits the back of the magazine or the back of the round once you have it in, and then you just push it down, next round goes in forward facing, right? And you just do it over and over again until the magazine's all the way full. Now this one is a little bit harder, I will say, just because that follower gets in, or this tab gets in the way. When you've pushed it down and pushed around in, the round hits this, and then you have to release it and push it in. That's what this Up Lula does much, much better. And just so you understand, it's a little bit different. Obviously, it moves. And that's by design to make it a lot simpler for you, so you don't have to do that other part. And so what you do is, if this is the magazine, same deal, right? This is the back of the magazine, this is the magazine follower. You would squeeze this down, put it in, and push down. And when you do that, let's see if we can show you that on camera. If not, we'll roll in some B-roll. It pushes the follower down, and then you've got this ramp created by the Up Lula, and you just slide it down on that ramp, and it goes right in the magazine. So let's show you that. So we'll push down, it slides right in the magazine, and then when you let go, that ramp comes out. You can move the magazine or the mag loader up, squeeze again, and push down, and now you're on top of that round. And then you're going to take another round, put it in, let go, it goes out and around that round, squeeze it again, pull down, slide it in. So as you can see, this one's a lot better because it allows you to squeeze it, push down, slide the round in, and then once the round's in that magazine, you just let it go, and that ramp slides out, you come up and squeeze, and you just keep going like that. And this one is my very, very favorite because of that. It makes it so much easier, because then if you're just on a flat surface, then you just push it down, let go, push it down right as you're loading rounds in. It makes the loading process so much simpler, and the coolest part about it is that when the magazine starts to get more and more full and that spring gets more and more compressed, it gets harder to load, especially a new magazine. And when you're just trying to get those last rounds in, this takes away that problem for the most part, because you can put it on and then slam it against a flat surface, not slam, but push it against a flat surface with much bigger muscles. And so it allows you to get those last rounds in a lot easier. And so don't listen to anyone else. These things are great, especially if you're new, but for anyone, I use these all the time. They're a great, useful tool that is going to make all the difference in how quickly you can load and how much you can load into the magazines, especially if the magazines are new. Guys, if this is useful information, please subscribe, like, comment down below on your experiences with these types of things, and just support the gun community on YouTube. Go out there and watch all the videos, watch them all the way through. I always say that because that's a huge indicator to YouTube on whether this content is good and relevant. We love you, and we will see you next time.